You all have been asking me for a studio tour of my filming setup for a long time now. And as someone who just started out on a very low budget for my YouTube channel, I think it is valuable to see that you don't have to spend a lot of money or buy the fanciest, newest equipment to have a successful setup. So I thought I would share with you all, as someone who didn't want to spend a ton of money or time creating a setup, this is what I've come up with. So first things first, when you walk into this room, a couple things to note. The first thing you see is my filming setup, and we'll get to the details on that in just a second. But over here is actually my work office, and the only window down here, and I'm kind of in my basement, so it's really the only natural light that comes in, hence the big backup lights for when the natural light is not good. But I do work a full-time job, and so I share this space between my office for my full-time job and then my filming space back here behind me. Let's go ahead and just jump in here. The first thing is just where I sit while I'm filming. These two benches are repurposed. I bought them on like Facebook Marketplace many years ago and then reupholstered them. They actually have like zebra print underneath of that floral print, and they're great. They work super well. They're a good spot to sit while I film, and they're big enough that I have space to like spread products out around me, so I don't actually have like a table or a desk or a vanity or anything. I just kind of set things near me, and that's actually what this piece of glass here is for, and the box. So the glass just provides a nice even surface so that things don't like fall into the cracks between these two benches. And then the box is helpful for like roly-poly things that like to escape while I'm getting ready, like lipstick, so they can't roll away. So pretty simple seating setup here, nothing crazy. And then this chair over here, I mean, you'd think I'm using it for a chair, but I'm actually not. That's actually just holding like my brushes, my mirrors, and then some towels that I like to kind of wipe my brushes off on between uses when I'm not like thoroughly cleaning them. And then if you have watched my channel in the past, you probably recognize this little setup down here, because I don't have fancy stuff for my makeup storage. I just have bins and baskets that I've gotten at the dollar store or garage sales or thrift stores or wherever, and I have just found a way to make it work for me. So all of my makeup sits down in that corner, and then again, I basically use this box to collect what I'm using for the day, bring it over, and then sit here to film. So that's basically like the workflow of things. And you can see some clutter like over on that shelf up there. That's where I just keep extra stuff. I have like an external microphone just in case it's really loud outside that day. I have all the papers marking my Project Pan stuff. And then I have my background items over here on this shelf. And then I really only have 3 other pieces of like equipment or items here that you're probably most curious about. So let me talk through kind of this budget setup here. First of all, like I said, there is a window. So on days where there's really good natural light through that window, I don't actually always turn all of these lights on. I kind of just stick with the ring light, but sometimes it's dark down here. I mean, it is a basement, and so the light is not always wonderful. So I do have an overhead ceiling light, but it's much too yellow. You can probably see that on the camera. It's very yellow, so it makes my skin show up extremely yellow, and colors don't look true to form. So when I'm filming, I actually turn that light off and then rely on either that natural light from the window or these lights that I have set up here. You can see right in the center here, I just have a standard tripod. Again, I bought this for 75 cents at a garage sale. So honestly, you do not need to spend a lot of money to have quality items. And then on top of that tripod, I have mounted a ring light. And I didn't used to have this. I actually just got this maybe like 2 to 3 months ago. And it has made a really big difference because I can really rely on that natural light a lot more often by just like kind of just turning on the ring light to get a little bit more brightness on my face, but not have so much light all over the room. So I have really enjoyed having this. And again, I bought this secondhand. I went on Facebook Marketplace and someone was selling it for like $4. and it came with all of these attachments. So it came with this, which is where my cell phone clips in. I film with my cell phone, not with a fancy camera or anything like that. So it came with that attachment. Let me try to show you without blinding you. I really love this one because when you turn it on, you have this yellow light, you have a white light, or you have a half and half. So I tend to use the half and half, and then you can also adjust the brightness from here as well. So it goes down pretty low. So I'll oftentimes turn it on like the lowest two settings of this like mixed light, the yellow and the white light. And it just adds a little bit of brightness to my face so you can see detail a little bit better without it being like harsh, intense lighting. So that's my ring light. Again, bought it secondhand. It's really great. I have seen it on Amazon, so I will try to link it down below if I can find it. And I'll also link this tripod. I know this is on Amazon as well, or Walmart. I can't remember. It's just a cheap tripod. I will link one that is similar enough. But again, I got both of these secondhand, one at a garage sale, one on Facebook Marketplace. They function perfectly, and combined I spent less than $5 on the two of them. And then the only other thing that's of note here is this little guy hanging off to the side. And if you've never seen something like this before, it's basically a little button you can press for your camera to then take a picture. So it connects via Bluetooth to your phone, in my case, or your camera if you have an actual camera. And it allows you to take photos without clicking the button directly on your phone or camera. So this is one of the only things I bought brand new. I would say I spent like maybe $10 on this, 10 to 15. I will again link it below if I can find it. So it's just super quick and easy. You just turn it on and then you press the button and it takes your photos. And it's great because then I can sit back in my area, have my phone up there, and take a bunch of photos for my thumbnails for YouTube without having to like reach or do something awkward or change the settings on my phone. It's super, super quick and simple. So I just hang it here, and that is honestly one of the best things I've purchased for my setup. Okay, so backing out just a bit, you can see these two kind of brighter lights here, and I am going to actually unplug them now that you've kind of seen what they look like plugged in, and you can see they provide a lot of lighting on this background. I'm gonna go ahead and unplug them so I can get my camera nice and close to show you the details here. Okay, so first off, you can see how much less lighting this background has once those lights are off. And today is actually an extremely bright, sunny day outside, so this is like the best of what I get with natural lighting, and that's why I do have to use my ring light oftentimes, even when I'm doing natural light filming, because it just brightens up my face enough that there aren't shadows there. So it works, and some days it works. Like today, I'd probably be able to get away with it, but 90% of the time, I do need these big lights. There's a couple components going on here. This part of the light, this like metal piece and the cord, that is like a garage light. So like it's used by people who do like car mechanic work and things like that. It's just a super simple, like this is just metal, there's just a light bulb inside. I have added this separately. So let me just show you what it looks like without that cover. Okay, so here it is without the cover. It's just bright and open, and I used them like this for a very long time actually. I didn't buy covers or anything for probably the first 5 to 6 months of YouTube. I just used them like this, and I actually used to clip them, not on here, but I used to clip them on my like folding laundry rack and set it up in front of myself right here. And I didn't have the ring light. It was literally just these two lights facing directly at my face, but the lighting was just way too harsh. It was drowning out some of the detail, and so I knew I needed some sort of diffusers. So before buying the ring light, I actually went ahead and bought these little covers, and they're super cheap. I think these were $5 for the pack of 2, and the lights were $10 for the pack of 2. So these little diffusers help a lot because the light just looks softer and more evenly distributed rather than being like a spotlight. I'm gonna put this little guy back on, and then we'll talk about the stands. Okay, so as I mentioned, I used to actually just set these up on a laundry rack, like one of those metal folding laundry racks. and it worked. It totally worked, but I wanted them at a slightly different angle. So I wanted them like off to the sides of me like this rather than directly in front of me, which was all I could do with one rack. So I went to the equivalent of a Goodwill near me, so a thrift store by me, and I found these, and these are actually classroom easels. So they are awesome for this because each of the legs is adjustable. You twist this little piece right here and the legs get taller or shorter. So it basically functions like a high-end tripod. And then I used this clip, which is actually part of the light. So like that came attached to these lights that I bought. I used this clip to just snip it onto the top there, and I'm good to go. I also now own a beautiful easel if I ever need one. So these little things flip down, and then there's a metal bar that goes across there where you can prop stuff up. So, I mean, I got lucky. I found 2 of them in the store at the same time, but honestly, who cares? If you found 2 of these in 2 different stores and they looked dramatically different, no one's ever gonna know unless you do a studio tour like this. And so that's always been my motto, is how can I get the best results in my video with the cheapest materials? And I think I've done a pretty good job of that. These easels each cost, I think, 99 cents. Again, the lights were 10 bucks for the 2-pack. The covers were 5 bucks for the 2-pack. And this setup in the center here with the ring light and the tripod was under $5. These are repurposed. The piece of glass is repurposed. The box is obviously just a box. That's one of our extra dining room chairs. And then all of the items down here are secondhand, thrifted, garage sales, or just things we no longer needed, like in our bathroom. Like that big white one used to be in our bathroom and we don't need it anymore. So honestly, in total, I have spent not very much money to get a completely functional YouTube setup. And I'll just give you one more view here of kind of the whole thing. All right, and so that is that. I hope this gave you some good ideas of how you might be able to set up your own YouTube studio for very, very cheap and just kind of getting creative about the items you use. Oftentimes when I was searching keywords like ring light or beauty light or lighting for YouTube, everything that came up was extremely expensive. Like I'm talking like $60 for a ring light and $80 for a tripod and $100 for a light. And I just wasn't willing to pay that. I would rather put my money towards the makeup that I want to purchase and just get the basics, get the minimum that I need to film. So I think being creative about what you're searching for, what you're looking for, and trying to look at markets that are generally not willing to spend as much money. For example, those lights for car mechanics, those were extremely cheap and they're very, very high quality, very durable, and they have worked great for me. So just by searching terms and ideas that are a little outside the box or buying secondhand can truly save you a ton of money and get you up and running for like little to no effort, energy, time, money, etc. invested into your setup so that you can really focus on creating your best content. I hope you enjoyed this video today and I will see you next time.